having gotten rent for no less than 16 years. They pick this land title, take it to the bank. The bank says, I've been seeing the way money has been flowing every month. You're a good candidate for a loan. We saw the money entering. You're a good candidate for a loan. But the money that was entering, where was it when it is getting removed? Where was it going? If it is this, and getting yourself to enjoy life and enjoying life, it is time to renovate the apartments. The bankers go and look at the location. They say these apartments deserve to be renovated. They give money to renovate the apartments, but they also see the unfinished apartments. What do they say? They say, even those ones, including the loan, let's give you more money. The money was given. The apartments were renovated. The behavior of taking a rental income continued. Yes.
Let me interject a bit. Do we need someone to interpret? What about our leader to center? You are all following? Bavunule. Abikabagamba nti bisusse bavunule. Muwanike. A few. I think we continue. Okay. Nendo zabe batono.
All right.
What is it?
All right, let's continue with the message. The apartments getting renovated, they are now modern, the rent has been improved. These people have continued to eat the rental income like before. The loan is growing. The eating has continued and it has even improved because the children matured, finished Canada, came into, they divided the units. Me now I take this ones, me I take this ones, and then you start to enjoy life. The loan could not be paid. Evicted. They went to State House. The president contacts Mutebile. Mutebile, check why is the widow being harassed. They read the file. The file says, you were given a chance so many times to try and improve. You failed. Many times if you are seated here, by the time the banker is advertising your property, you have overtalked with the bank. That outside advert there is the last part where you are saying, we don't want to see you anymore. Talk with our lawyers. The discussions got over and they were going nowhere. As we speak today, the president looked at the file, feedback from Tebile, and they said, this case was well handled. You mishandled this property. Allow the sale to take place. When it is done, we shall buy for you property somewhere you go and sleep. But let the apartments go. I'm making a point here, friends. There are no easy things called the passive income. If you are passive today, are you causing the same passivity to your children? I am just sitting there, the income just coming. And the children are seeing that that's how life is. You are preparing another generation of 7, 8 people to imagine life is passive. They will come up with their passivity and start enjoying that income. That property must leave. Let's look at another point. Shares, bonds, and what have you. Shares, what they do is this if you have got shares in any company. The moment they give a dividend, they put it in the current account. What do? You get a bank message saying, this man has been accredited. Did you expect it? No. How much? 4 million. Okay, what do I do now? You become a solver of problems instantly. The income came. No planning. Instant excitement. Dividend gone. But you have shares. Have you become rich? Have you? You better invest in stock exchange. You better invest in this. When that thing is released, they put it in your bank account, ready for you to pick. It is you to deploy it. If you don't, poverty will again come back. My message is, entrepreneurship is the centerpiece. It is now coming and start sweating and utilizing every hour that we have been given by our God and our heads every time. In other words, when it comes to entrepreneurship, where did you put part of your salary? Where? Where did you put part of your rental income? Where? Where did you put part of the dividend that it came? You are here, you are seated. You have established an eating lifestyle. No sweat. Imagining that the rental income is going to have no expense. Those units will have to be toilets that need to be cleaned up, removed completely. Windows changed completely at a price you must obey in terms of payment. So the word that defines the game of entrepreneurship is a simple word, and that word is customer. As you sit here, do you have a customer? When you open that door to get out, do you have a customer? Who is your customer? What extent is a customer happy? If you have never known that word, they are still very raw, very young. You earn the salary. Did you put it in a banana plantation? Did you check the customers who took the bananas? You earn the salary. You started a forest investment. Did you check to see that customers are happy with what you planted? Are you familiar with the word customer? In other words, in this life of ours, you need a combination of all the above. When you do all the above, did you know what can happen to you? You will now enjoy your daytime job for which you are more happy than probably running a funeral home. Your investment is in a funeral home. But you enjoy being an accountant. But because the funeral home is giving all the money you want, living a life you want, you will enjoy this career as an accountant in a manner that you don't need to be applying for jobs. Outstanding accountant. Because in terms of money issues, the funeral home is sorting out your issues. But you don't connect too much with that kind of a sector. But it's a sector providing a solution. Let's continue. The message I'm putting across here is just saying that there are so many initiatives who have had people talk about, both in church and in government, to try and make you become a billionaire. My message is, most of these initiatives, without intentionally doing so, give you a spirit of dependency. Have been put on a circle. You enter a circle, very good. At a circle, the maximum loan they can give you is $1 million. But when you took the 1 million, what did you do with that money? If you grew that money, next time when you go to the circle will be saying, you are so good, but you are now beyond us. But the way you have been banking in the DFCU, using your small business, DFCU now says, we have been seeing your bankings here. Can you have a conversation to give you 2 million? In other words, these public schemes that we give you should be what we call a bridge for you to go to the bigger story. You have been in a cycle for 7 years, borrowing only maximum 1 million. You have stagnated. You have stagnated. That circle place should have been taken by another Uganda, then another Uganda, then another Uganda. Meanwhile, you come back to speak as a testimony giver, saying, I started here as a circle member 10 years ago, and I was borrowing 1 million. Today, I'm in a bank borrowing 300 million. That gives you hope and opportunity for others to say, what did you do so that we also keep on growing? The circle becomes a bridge. PDM becomes a bridge. Emioga becomes a bridge. The moment the entire nation thinks, I have gotten my Emioga, this is my A to Z, you've killed the entire nation. The entire nation. Let's move. As the president himself at the meeting, he said one time, over 500 billion is being wasted in this country on public schemes. He said it in Kololo. But in politics, you have to look at the short term as well. Sometimes much more than the long term. But he himself said, you are taking money, you are failing to become rich. What's the issue? Recently he said, I was in the company, he said, The Mbarara Kampala Road was done more than 70 years ago, the Tamaka Road. The people next to the Tamaka Road, the majority have not changed. What's the issue? We're talking of the beauty of a Tamaka Road. There are people who have never known a neighboring road which is other than a Tamaka Road since they were born. But economically, no difference. So let's continue. If we continue in the way we are going, and remember what I talked about, Mauritius, if we cannot utilize the beauty of Uganda the way it is today, and we fix roads, we fix electricity, we fix security, you have opened the country to all types of investors, and they are going to come in plenty, like they have done in Mauritius. When they come and they find the local population has never known how to raise a goat and make a goat, to become 10 goats in 50 years, that population must have to do things to sell. One, land. Kayunga today is a mixed community because it is so premium, so close to the market outlets, that if you are still holding land in Kayunga and you are still doing your half an acre of Bijanjalo, the best thing you can now do is what? Sell it. The price has gone up. The children are saying, want to get married? Sell the land, sell the land. At the moment you finish selling the land, the next thing is become Bapakasi right there. And the moment you now become an employee in that land, you don't have to wake up at 7 a.m. You must wake up at 4 a.m. If you don't, the gate is closed. Nobody will say, sorry, you have a child to feed at home. You moved from a landlord to now an employee, and I've given you the rules of the game. Be at the farm by 4 a.m. If you don't, forget it. And friends, the story in Nairobi right now is brutal. If you go to Nairobi in the morning, the lanes are 2-lane roads going one direction, then 2 lanes the other direction. In the morning, the lane closest to the grass is a lane for pedestrians. They walk in thousands, waking up in the morning, going to the factories, going to the farms to work. They can't afford a taxi. They cannot afford 2 meals. Wake up in the morning, walk in large numbers. Please, when you get to Nairobi, ask for a pedestrian route to the factories. And there are no less than 3 of them. You will watch and just say, what a story of Africa. The large numbers walking are the blacks. Where they end up the other side are light-skinned owners of the investors. Can you stop that one? Impossible. Impossible. In the evening, it is the other way around. It's a 2-lane road. 1 lane inside there is for vehicles. The other side is for pedestrians going back home in large numbers. Each one walking quietly. Don't talk to your neighbor, hurry home. And then take a bit of nakati. Take nakati home. Take nakati home. That window is coming to Uganda very, very quickly. It should be like Mauritius, where people reach in Mauritius, and then you see this investor, a local Mauritian, and you want to join him in making the dairy farm more modern and exporting. Rather than say, you lazy man, sell the land and I start a dairy farm, then you come and become a Mupakasi here. Mauritius, the locals are at the center of the game. As you go in there, you are going to joint venture partnerships. Because you find people who are already sweating and ready for the game. In Africa, the roads are working, the electricity is working, and the people are still in the old way of productivity. There are a bit of stories in here because you think this is something, this is far from Uganda. This is what's happening now in this country. in the New Vision story here, our young girls are being taken abroad to carry babies for rich couples. And they go after selling land and after getting a degree. They check your medical condition to confirm that your body is clean for our baby to be put inside. And when you are taken there, you go to what they call a factory for manufacturing babies. And you are the main factory there. So as soon as you arrive, they tell you, surrender your passport. Where's the medical report to confirm that you are clean? And then the moment that one is cleared, they now tell you qualify. A couple comes with a fertilized egg, a child is ready to be put in the womb, and they don't put one. First round, they put 4. You are a factory, you must be used to the maximum. You are a what? A factory. Nobody told you to go there. You went. 4 babies at a go, and then you are given the food you want to eat. The sleeping will be excellent. The treatment will be excellent. When it is 6 months, 7 months, they say now these 4 babies cannot reach 9 months. They are too many. You might lose one of the investments. Because for each child, it is $50,000 to the owner of the factory. So as you are carrying those 4, you are carrying $200,000 for the owner of the investment. Remember, as you are being taken there, you've been promised your $30,000, but that's $10,000. Let's first continue the story. First round, 4 babies must come out. And when they are removing them, they don't wait for them to be born naturally. They cut here. And the cutting is not to protect you, the factory, to protect the babies. So we cut to remove the babies properly. We give you 3 months to recover. After the 3 months, what do? We put in another 3 babies. The factory must bring full return. We got 200 the other time. We're getting another 150. Again, after 7 months, we cut without taking care of the what? The factory. We take care of the what? The babies. After that, we leave you 3 months again to recover. Once you have recovered, we give you the last round. Then that factory now is useless. The last round is 2 babies. Another $100,000 for the owner of the factory. So 250 plus 250, the man has gotten 500,000. Then they give you, at the end of that period, they give you $10,000. But within the $10,000 is your ticket. But most importantly, this body is all gold. The way they were cutting without the trigger. What happens to you? You arrive in Kampala, the body is gone and rotten. Straight to the hospital. Straight to the hospital. I'm telling you this because we shall be slaves. We shall be useless animals being exported. And we will go there on our own without anybody forcing us to go. That's the painful part of it. The youth are also going, there's another one here. These are now some of those who are workers as housemates, where they move you from one home to another home until you are totally broken, the batch is finished. 6 homes in a day. And they watch how much you eat. 6 homes in a day. At the end of the day, a bottle of soda and a small snack for you to be ready to work the next day. Now, you see what's happening today? It never used to happen in Uganda. Go to Entebbe now. The people who are flooding the planes and filling the planes are people dressed up to go and work abroad. We're at the crossroads. The choice is ours. If there was an opportunity for each one of you here to get a ticket and just travel to Mauritius, you just go and just say, I want to listen to how Mauritius became different. An island deep in the ocean, several kilometers from the shores, very tiny, more organized, more productive. A Jaguar has got an outlet there. The day you see a Jaguar putting an outlet in Kampala Road that are selling Jaguars, then you now know this population has improved economically. A Jaguar has an outlet in Mauritius. The population, including little babies, is 1.2 million. The area smaller than Kalangala Island. Emirates makes 2 flights a day of 400 passengers each time. They are not going there for fun. They are going there to enjoy economic prosperity. And they don't lift Mauritians to take them to Saudi Arabia for cleaning of houses. They don't. What a difference. So there's also, now we have got the issue of our population that are selling the second kidney for income. I had another story for that one as well here. Where is it? A second kidney is going. Inside the multi-billion liver and kidney trade, who are the donors? Africans. On a massive scale. Massive scale. So my message is clear. We have a choice to make, because all these things that are happening, it is in obedience to God's word. If you can't grow what you have, expand what you have, even the little you have, you must lose it. Not a president, not a king, not a chief, not anybody. Not even a father can stop a child from taking their body for mistreatment. Children will fight parents. Children will fight uncles who are stopping them from selling grandfather's land. The war is in our territory. It's not anybody outside. The Basukulu are going to deal with the uncles who are stopping them from selling grandfather's land. Your insecurity is not the neighbor. Your insecurity is within the home. God's word is clear. If you cannot improve what you have, even the little you have, you must lose it. What do you have? Land. What have you used it for? What did you start? You started a restaurant. Last year it was serving 100 plates. Is it still on 100 plates? God says the moment it's still on 100 plates, the story of the one who left one talent as one. He gave him 2 W words. You are wicked, you are worthless. Your restaurant last year was selling 100 plates of food. This year it is still on 100 plates. Wicked. And what? Worthless. I gave you a opportunity to start a shop. Your turnover last year was 50 million. This year you are still at 50 million because you are comparing yourself to the poor fellows. God is simply saying you are worthless. That shop should have gone now to 70 million. I gave you a school, it had hit a certain level, now it is deteriorating, but you are saying, at least we are better than the neighbor. Do W words, wicked, worthless. You are wicked. You are worthless. Africa will have one big challenge, because the moment we improve just a little bit like this, you are better than so many. We begin clapping for you. We begin clapping for you. You settle. You are finished. Because everywhere you go, they know you as the uncle who has made it. The fellow who would have moved from $1 billion shillings last year to 1.2 billion this year is now settling. He's beginning to earn now 900 million and still very happy because he's better than too many. God's standards are different. What were you in the past? What are you now? If you have not moved, 2 W's, wicked and worthless. The other opposite is what you should have been going for when he said, you who had 5 and you have come carrying 10, he says, thank you. Instead of abusing, he says, thank you, faithful servant. You are faithful with a little. I'm going to give you more. Come and celebrate with me. The other fellow, he tells him, not only am I going to abuse you, I'm also going to kick you to the outside, where there's darkness and shedding of tears. Read the story of the talents again. This Proverbs, Matthew chapter 25 from 15 to the end. Read it again. If Africa cannot obey that message, Africa is finished. Africa does not belong to Africans. It belongs to God. Uganda does not belong to God, to Ugandans. It belongs to God. Whoever can make a better use of Uganda will own Uganda. If you are coming from Teso, Teso doesn't belong to Teso. It belongs to God. If you as a Teso cannot make Teso work, you must sell it to anybody who can make it work. It's just the rule you can change. Never, ever imagine you are genetically owning Teso. It will never happen. You don't own it. You only own it when you keep on making it more and more productive every day you are breathing, short of which it is not yours. And it is you who wake up in the morning searching for a buyer. Not anybody, you. That's why it is impossible to stop selling of land in a poor community using guns and rules and laws. They will come for you at night. The Basukulu will come for you at night for having stopped selling of their land. You had better have policemen in every home protecting all the old men from their own children. If not, the land must go. In obedience to one clear message, the owner of the land. You are here, you have got children and you have got businesses. Make the children begin to know how to own that business early. Why? Here's what happened. This is painful. Very painful. Front page of the New Vision. BMK properties up for sale. The man had done a great job rising from Masaka selling coffee. He does the trading of motor vehicles. He starts a hotel. He starts other hotels. He starts a lot of businesses. They were all put up for sale. 18 months after he was buried. 18 months after he was buried, for you to own those assets, the rule of God must continue. What did you have last year? How far have they continued to improve? All last year we had a hotel. We inherited it from daddy. We had this, we inherited from daddy. What is the hotel doing today? What is it doing today? Short of which, can you surrender it? Surrender it quickly. History does not break God's principle. 18 months after a great man died, the kids had picked the land titles, forged them up, took them to the banks, and the empire was running up in flames. This is too dramatic, but it's happening at many levels all over the country. Where kids that have been idle are coming in to try and say, these are our assets, let's sell them. I've already talked about God's stand on prosperity, but I want to touch on one that will make all of us know that you can't escape it. I'm going to pick one of the many. I've already talked about this and we were custodians here. Expand what is given and you get more. Leave it as it is or erode it and you lose even the little you have. That is where Uganda is headed to. 10 years from now, you will witness slavery inside the country, not outside. Right now, we're selling land and running there. Selling land and running there. It's going to come right here, where we are now going to say, please surrender Mukono, please surrender Kayunga, please surrender Mityana, please surrender Mubeni, please surrender, please surrender. In obedience to God's word. This is what this one is saying. But it's here because this one is not working. What's number 24? Proverbs 24, 30 to 34. What does it say? I walked around a garden of a lazy, stupid man. Those are the words being used. Lazy and what? Stupid. I found a man oversleeping, and when he's awake, he's folding his hands. That's how the story is running. And he said, when I looked at this story of stupidity, laziness, oversleeping, and whilst awake, he's folding his hands. What did he see in the garden? He said, I saw the garden that was overgrown with weeds and thorns. Our God is watching what you are doing. And he's not saying this story only applies when you are from a family that has not educated children. He's simply saying, I created you as a human being. Whatever your circumstances, you have a garden to clean. And I want the garden to be clean and neat. He said the garden was overgrown with thorns and weeds. And he said, if thorns can have power to come from anywhere and take over the land, you fool, I'm going to remove you using poverty that will attack you like an armed robber. That's how the story ends. Where did the thorns for the plane reach your land? There were no thorns in the neighborhood. Out of nowhere, because you are too lazy, the thorns came with water, came with what, and landed and found a lazy, stupid man. And said, this is a good place to be in, let's flourish here. God is watching thorns moving and taking over territory and saying, what a fool. He said, when I see those four things in you, stupidity, laziness, folding of hands, oversleeping, I send you poverty that will attack you like an armed robber. You have no choice since you have been born. Dr. Lugia, where are you? Thank you for loving these Ugandans. Thank you for loving them. He called me no less than 3 times to say, Church, will you come? Church, will you come? Church, will you come? I didn't need to come here. This fellow is a good enough example of what it means to fulfill God's word. And by the way, you can even be bigger. If you still do these things, you will still be rich. Didn't God say, I will send rain to the gardens of the non-believers and non-believers? He said it. But also, you are a Christian, don't hide in there. Make your God become more glorified. Because for us to redeem this planet, we need resources. You don't just sit and pray in your room. You must get out and redeem the country. Redeem the souls. It needs money. It takes money. Christians must never be timid. Never be timid. So, God's word is clear. How come God requires us to be entrepreneurs? Because of limited land, full stop. Did you know that in 1962, we were 8 million people? Today we are 46. Are we under the size of the land? No! Check your home where your father had the few of you. Now, the few of you who are the 8 children. Each one of you has got 4. 80 times 4 is 32. The land is still the same. Your dad was 1, but was owning 50 acres. Now there's so many of you have got these other children, the 32 children, plus 8 of you, whatever your number. The land has still remained 50 acres. No difference. Go to Kisoro today. To get a family having more than 3 acres is good luck. But the children are 7. And the children are going to become adults. There is no stopping that. And those 7, each one will have 3. 3 times 7 is what? The acres are how many? 3. But the population now is 21. The killing, the fighting, the witch hunting, that will happen within the community, within families, unbelievable. And God doesn't want that to happen. So he's saying, don't you know a way on how to make this piece of land here become first floor mushrooms, second floor tomatoes, another floor you can put chicken? God is saying, I will not add you land. Use your wisdom to make use of what I've given you. We are here, unable to do even the basics. Even the basics, we can't do them. So our God is simply saying, I will not give you more land, but I will allow you to produce babies. Each time you close the door, 9 months later, there will be a baby coming out. We release that one, then you start calling Donald Trump. You know, the problem now, the diseases are quite many. you need to give us a bit of money. Who closed the door at night? Did you ask me? Did you ask America that before we can get this baby born, kindly confirm you will be sending us drugs? Kindly confirm. So I've already talked about the pain if we don't obey God's message. And how come we struggle when we go for it? How come we struggle when we go into business? What is the challenge? What's the issue? What must we do to start an enterprise, for example? And if you have started, how come I cannot make it to grow from that micro thing to reach $1 billion? What is the issue? Because now you are saying, this thing is God ordained. We are here to sweat it out. There's no glory here. Even when you get a miracle cow, you pray. We send a request to Netherlands. They send livestock. Then each one of us is given a cow with a baby inside. The moment that cow comes, one, prepare a lot of grass per day, and it's 5 bags every day. Number two, prepare enough water, and it's 3 jerrycans of water every day. You have been idle. Will that cow survive? A miracle cow will die. If it doesn't die, you hurry to sell it to someone. Please buy this animal. It is going to die in my hands. Please take this animal. I can't look after it. But it was a miracle cow. You take it. Just take it. You will sell a miracle cow at a giveaway price. And you know what you have just done? Even the little you have has been what? Taken away. And now you are a candidate of the 2 W's, which is what? Wicked. Wicked and what? Worthless. But the miracle cow came. Found a wicked, worthless owner. Wicked, worthless. So what is the issue? Now that we know that we must go there, let's move to the next slide. That slide says, going into business is a merciless game. But you must go there. The earlier, the better. It is merciless because for you to go into business and become a billionaire, there are only 2 laws you must follow. And those 2 laws, if you're a billionaire here, you must still continue to obey them. If you are going to go into this thing, just obey them. If you own 12 apartments in Nakasero, you must obey these 2 laws. If you don't, you are finished. Law number 1. Deliver a solution that meets client expectation. No regard of your age, gender, education. What was the thing in Nakasero? The Nakasero apartments were classy, well located, quiet area. The customer says, excellent, I will come and give you rent. But as you do that, remember that your unit, we shall be telling you, on our power is beginning to become a little bit awkward here. Change the wiring. Can you change the bathroom? The customer is simply saying, I want these units in Nakasero to reflect Nakasero. Otherwise, I'm looking for another one. A customer to be happy using the first law means he is willing to release the money to come and will tell other people to come to you. How do you know that you have fulfilled rule number 1? Number 1, customer comes and keeps talking well about what he's eating. Number 2, if it is something you can eat repeatedly, he keeps coming back. Number 3, that human being has got relatives and friends, you will refer them to you. If you see those things happening, just know that rule number 1, you have fulfilled it. Is it easy? Impossible. It is tough. It is not easy. You got a customer yesterday, he left. Did you check why he left? Or you simply say, it is now God's plan. I think it was God who allowed it to happen. Never hire God in your business. Never. Wake up and ask and locate the person and just say, why did my customer go? Where did he go? If he died, did you go and attend the funeral? Rule number 1 simply says, the customer must be happy for what they are getting from you. And they are coming to you because of that desire for that solution. And if they are happy, repeat business, referrals, and they even give you ideas on how to serve them better. That's rule number 1. Rule number 1. Rule number 1. If rule number 1 is working, that's not the story, the end of the story of becoming a billionaire. Because if number 1 is working, it it means money is flowing. And if the money is flowing and you're able to save and grow, the billion must come. But number 2 comes in to disrupt your growing business. Customers have been coming, enjoying food, saying you are very good and bring even referrals. Then a neighbor comes and says, oh my God, this fellow has confirmed to me that people like this type of food. I'm going to go to the exact location, put something a bit better, get better employees, give better service, and then advertise. Law number 2 has come and says, you must be ready to compete with anybody in terms of price, presentation, quality, and service. Rule number 2 or law number 2 will never allow you to sleep no matter how number 1 you are. Do you know why Apple, every year, after producing Apple number 15, they go back to work on the thing, because if they don't, the competition is saying, we have seen what you have done, we're going to compete and improve. You release number 16, again you go back and continue and work and look at what the opponent is doing and then continue improving. You go to iPhone number 17, don't sleep. Don't sleep. Do Africans do this? Never. An African will look back only. You know, when I started this business, we were in a very useless home. We had no power. This and this, everything was useless. This is why we have reached here. The African is no longer talking about the future and the competition. They are finished. You are finished. And the competition today does not need to be near you. They will see you from Nairobi. Then send the solutions to where you are without them even coming near you. The competition has become even more complicated. But you will see your customers disappear. They are consuming those solutions, but not yours. Are you asking yourself why? Or are you the one who is very religious and says, I leave it to God? My God says, I will bless the works of your. Number 2, wisdom is better than gold. Proverbs 16:16. Are you working? And when they are working, are you working with some wisdom all the time coming in? Are you? $1 billion does not come just because you are alive and you are called Joseph. Never. You must be able to dominate Kampala and take the war to Nairobi. That's what CGS has just done, Cafe Javas. Dominate Kampala and take the battle to where Cafe House is coming from, Nairobi. And when they reached there, they rocked it. You should not be the only one to be cornered by the competition. You should be the one to go and say, competition, have arrived. And I've arrived here to serve better and to make customers have a good time. You don't come there to just make anybody happy. No. You are simply saying, my word is customer, 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 and customer again. So that is the nature of the private sector. In nutshell, to succeed in business, one must embrace the business mindset. There's just no exception about this. Now, there are just 2 roadblocks that I want to touch very briefly, then I take you to the closing principles that I want to close with. I'm going to talk of some 2 roadblocks that have hindered us from going to wealth. And unfortunately, these roadblocks are in our heads. That's why the circle will not take you to riches without that thing was removed in your head. That's why PDM will not create riches until the roadblock has been removed from your head. So let's look at very briefly what I call the centrality of mindset. If an egg is broken by an outside force, a gear, at least all of us know an egg. The moment you knock it from outside, that egg is gone. If the egg is broken by inside force, the chick is ready to come out. And it is not going to be removed by the mother hen. The chick must do it itself. It must say, the 21 days are done, and I'm going to use my beak to get out. And when it is time for it to get out, don't you dare go and assist that chick to get out. If you do it, that chick will never survive. Allow it to battle and battle and battle and come out on its own, come out on its own. When it does and it's wet, the mother just sits on it and just says, welcome to the world of success and the world of sweat. If the egg is broken by the inside force, which is the chick itself, life begins. Great things always begin from inside. You get back to your children, that's the body. Let you plant the right message into that child's head so that they know that whatever you have done is just part of the game to continue growing. They had never been ever say that, for us it is done and finished. Never allow your children to ever declare that thing, because it's always unfinished job. When he said, go, that's in Genesis chapter 1 from 1, I think verse 26. God dominate the world. The war is unending. It's unending. And that's the beauty of being a Christian. There's a way we put the things into context. Into real context. The Bible says in Proverbs 23:7, as man thinketh in his heart, so is finished. The inside is what matters. You get money in the hands. Did you go to fix the head also? You have given them a circle. Very good. But have you fixed the head as well? You've given them a chance to form an investment group. Very good. But have you fixed the head as well? As man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Whether he went to P7 or he didn't. Whether he got a degree or he didn't. Whether he took a profession of the teacher or he didn't. So long as the thinking is done, it's a done game. And just to confirm that bit is another story here that I just thought I would share with you before I go to touch on a few things. I've got two stories here that just tell you that the journey of riches, whether you're a PhD person, you can become rich. Some of us are saying, for us who are educated, we cannot make it in life. Wrong message. We have seen examples that were shared by Dr. here. A couple of those fellows are degrees. But also in Uganda, a number of people with no single degree have made marks that are unbelievable in the private sector. By following the rules I'll be sharing shortly. I will start with a story of Muyingo. Muyingo was a teacher at Namgongo, went on and became head of department, then later deputy headmaster, then headmaster. But as he was doing that, he had a house he was renting in Iseta. And in there, he started coaching 9 learners. 9. In a 2-bedroom house with 1 toilet. So this 9 would share that toilet with a family, and it was a big issue. How do you bring 9 people permanently coming here to share with us in our own single toilet? 9. But when those ones passed, because he had not set a number, he just went and said, you register in a certain school. Then he extracts the results there and then tells parents who come to Namgongo and they don't get places. He tells them, you know what? The places here are finished, but I could do some coaching. Take your child to any school and then bring them for coaching. Here at this time, the man is a great teacher at Namgongo, but again he has got a coaching class going on. The second year, instead of 9, they were 31. They couldn't fit in the sitting room. He hired a small house in a neighborhood. And then he continued to hire more units from there. The landlord said, Mr. Mwalimu, you have been a better payer for these units. Why don't you buy this land? That's how he bought the first center area. Today, as we talk about the story, there are 4 campuses, 8,000 learners. Not a single time for advertising. They are taken on day 1 of reporting. 2,200,000 per term. You multiply. 2,200,000 times 80,000. That is every term. It's not a year. Every term. I hope I was correct there, because in case you thought it was per year, it's not. The 2.2 million is per term. And they are taken without adverts. So the word a billion, it's no longer an issue. It's a done story. But that's just one story I'm talking about here, because I'm going to take you now what I feel are the things you need to start following to go this direction. A second story. This second story is of a young boy who later became a billionaire, and about 3 years ago, Aponya died about 3 years ago. Aponya, how a P7 dropout, built a multi-billion business empire. And today you see those big whatever across the city, plus at least 7 factories. And then was a supplier to World Food Program. Just to tell you that to win a contract to supply World Food Program, just 1,000 kilograms of food, you will bid and bid and bid. It will be luck for you to win it. Very tough. Aponye was the lead supplier for World Food Program for 7 countries. And he had 60 trailers. And when I talk about trailers, a trailer has got 22 tires. To give you the picture. One has got 22 tires. A lorry can have your 60 tires. That's different. This one, how many tires? 22, one of them. That's how he was supplying World Food Program. A P7 boy. How did it happen? This boy, the father died when he still had 3 months to be born. So he never saw daddy. At the 6th month, when he was still in the womb, daddy dies. Then he's born, and the mother says, let me do whatever I can. She takes him to school. In P7 says, I've done my part. Please take over from there. The little boy does what I'm going to tell you to do. Starts selling roasted granuts. Roasted granuts. But the message is in the book of the talents. Whatever you sold yesterday, if you sold 1 kilo yesterday, are you still selling 1 kilo? Stupid. It should be 2. It should be 2. The next day he's selling 3 kilos. Are you still happy with the 3 kilos? Stupid. You should be on 5. And then from there, you reach 40 kilos. You are now selling bags of granuts. And you are no longer the one doing the selling. You are supervising a team. You are now supervising a team. And you are in charge of purchasing the granuts from this way, just from the other side. And then should you rest, God again brings the two W word. Wicked and what? Worthless. Keep going. Keep going. By the time he died, a mega billionaire. The start is not the issue. The issue is, do you know what it means to start where you were yesterday and the next day you are bigger? Do you know how to do that? And haven't I told you the rules? This fellow who bought yesterday doesn't have friends. Can he tell another friend? Have you kept him? And then after you have finished all this area here, is that the end of the eating people? Why don't you move to Mbarara, then in Tunga? Must you be in Kabale? Who told you? You have finished the entire Kabale. How about in Tunga? How about in Mbarara? You finished in Mbarara and the Ankole region is all done. Why are you not in Kampala, you fool? God is asking. You fool, you are wicked, you are worthless. You have remained in Ankole, you are wicked and worthless, you fool. I'm waiting to see you in Kampala. I'm now the biggest in the whole of Ankole. God is simply saying, Ankole is tiny. Don't I have my people in Kampala? Why are you not there? You conquer Kampala. How about DRC? The man kept going. Burundi, Rwanda. He was going. When the Bible says it is all starting in your head, we as Christians were privileged to have that, but we don't go for these kind of things because they don't look too exciting. At least if you are promised a miracle prayer this Monday or whatever, then you wait for the miracle so that something instant happens. It's better. Miracles happen, but they are under the control of God. Number 2, the size and the timing is not under your control. Now, we have seen Money, we must get it. Money requires us to have a customer. Getting a customer is sweaty. I've seen the things. But we've also seen, if we do not improve what we have as human beings right now here, whether you're a pagan, you're in this room and you're a pagan, you don't disobey God's laws because you're a pagan. You are going to sell that land yourself, but you are not a Christian. You're a pagan. You say, no, those are Christian principles. You will not breach the laws of the man who created this planet just because you're a pagan. It will not happen. So we have seen that we have no choice but to go there. Now the message is, what are those mental roadblocks that are holding us from becoming rich, so that we know them and then our teaching process with some few principles to release you to go and become rich? What are the two roadblocks? Mental roadblocks. Let's check on them. Move. 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 Back. That one. Those two there. The two mindset roadblocks to wealth creation, they are in your head. And friends, this is why you are not rich. I'm just going to announce to them, then leave you to do the homework and do the battle. And there is no time to waste. We're in trouble in Africa. People are coming and we have two things to sell, land and labor, ourselves. The earlier we begin to say you come to Africa and locate Ochichi to a joint venture partnership, the better. So here is the message. True wealth is generated once one succeeds in addressing two mindset roadblocks to sustainable wealth. Number one is a mindset of excuses. Did you know that Aponya had enough excuses? I'm an orphan. I'm not educated. I'm located in a very remote part of the country. And then you ask yourself, very good. Is it true that whenever there is a word orphan, there is no riches in that case? Have I ever seen anybody going to a market and then they are saying, I am not going to buy chicken from anybody who's an orphan here. Please, if you are an orphan, put up your hand so that I don't buy her chicken from you. A chicken will be bought because it fulfills the expectations of the buyer. Your history, you may announce it later, but you will not be interested. He's interested in the chicken. Excuses are those things which we mention and they appear correct. There are many people who will join you in saying it is true. I've just mentioned one of them is an orphan. The moment you mention that word, it is true, we know it is painful to be an orphan. But you know that years are passing. You are an orphan when you are born. You are now 15 years. Before you know it, you are 25. Before you know it, you are 40. Before you know it, you are 50. You are still calling yourself an orphan. Did you know that as you are talking like that, the head is working and the head is willing to do so many great things that people with the two parents cannot even do? Your head here, where no two parents who are available as you are growing, is working better than a head which has two parents next to it all the time. Proverbs 20:37. As man thinketh, are you thinking? You are not fun, but are you thinking, please? Are you? The English is an issue. But what are you going to do which does not need you to have spoken the best English? What is it? Can't moving fruits from Kanyanya to Kititale at the roadside be done without having spoken in English? You just buy the fruits from Kanyanya. You walk with them. You don't even have a motorcycle. You just walk all morning. You walk until you wrong school. I wish I'd gone to a better school. Daddy took me to a wrong school. problem is I don't have capital. The fellow who is saying he has no capital, he has got 5 million, and he says he needed 40. He has 5. The fellow who has got 500,000, he says, I wish I could have 1 million, I would do something. The fellows are all having the same challenge. The one of 500,000 is looking for 1 million. The one of 5 million is looking for 20 million. Excuses. Can't you now abandon the business of 20 million and do the one of 5 million? Can't it continue from there? Because my God simply says, wherever you were yesterday, continue to grow and grow and grow. And after 3 years, you can really shift to the other business without losing here. Excuses are so powerful because once you narrate them, believers are many and you sleep soundly. Do you know that there are many poor fellows in the villages in the city of Kampala? Very poor, but they sleep soundly. They have done excuses so beautifully that they now go home comfortable and just say, even the rich will die. Who tells you they don't die? Who? No, even the rich one, they got an accident. You know, you see, for us walk, at least we don't get an accident. So, whatever you are having, and for you are salary people, the biggest excuse you have is, I have no time. Where did Muingo get the time? Did Muingo's being involved with the coaching of students not make him a better headmaster? Didn't he move Namgongo from a school that was admitting super second grade in senior 1 to a school admitting super first grade in senior 1? But he said, you know the problem is, me, I'm a full-time employee. I cannot have time. The moment you utter, it's done. For us as Christians, there's a verse that confirms exactly that. It's Proverbs 18, what? 21. A tongue can give life as well as what? Death. And the closing part of it is powerful. It says, whoever loves using the tongue, you reap what it has done to you. You have no time. You reach home, you are very tired because the tongue will really put it clear. What are you talking that is holding you back? What are you talking that is making you justify why you have not taken off? The tongue is, God is saying, whatever you utter, you plant. Whatever you utter, you plant. Interconnected. Interconnected. A second roadblock to wealth creation is the survival, mediocrity, or arrivalism mindset. I wrote a touch on it. What is that story? Muingo would not have continued to get 4 schools today because by the time he moved from 9 to 300 when he was given now a center number, at 300 per student was given a center number. Then from there, he reaches a full first center school. He would have stopped there. That's what we call the arrivalism, the mediocrity. Where now you feel, this is good, I never had a school. You cannot imagine I have a school with 1,000. Can you imagine I started with 9? And you sing about it, and you keep on narrating, and narrating, and narrating, and it becomes your roadblock. In Africa, with too many poor people around you, that number 2 is your biggest influence. When we start calling you Muzej, because of your success, when we start about respecting you, you surrender on the store of the talents. But the store of talent does not change. You had 1,000 last time, how many are they this year? There are 1,200, how many are they this year? And whatever, if they are not increasing, the money you are getting there, where are you taking that money to? Are you starting rentals? Where are you putting the money to? We want the portfolio to keep growing, 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 growing. Friends, as you sit in this room, you are poor because of these 2 mindset roadblocks. The first one there stops you from attempting. But you will sleep better. You actually snore. but you're a snoring, poor, stupid person that God says wicked, useless. Then number two will eat you up because you feel, oh my God, this is it. I'm better than the neighbors. In Africa, you are finished because of that. And I want to just show you that to break those two, I put in a small slide here, which says, if you started with just 2 hands, and you removed these 2 here from you, within 4 years, you'll get $1 billion. Let's look at the slide. Let's go back. Go back to the slide of the example of the eggs. Go back about 3 slides back. Back. Go back. Go back. Sorry, it's not back. Continue in front. Continue in front. Next. That one. If you remove excuses and you never stop growing from 2 chicken, in 4 years you own a bus. In 4 years. What does the story say? With just 1 local hen, 1 local cock as initial investment, it can be 100,000, can 50,000, can whatever it is. In year 1, that hen will give you 10 eggs, 3 times in a year, and they will hatch 15 chicken. Those 15 chicks at the end of the year, if 15 of them are cocks and you sell them, in other words, this is a business you are taking off without going to anybody. You are growing on your own. Sell the cocks, the small cocks, sell them to get drugs, to pay workers, get feeds. And all those are reinvestments. Cover personal expenses, gifts for visitors. The balance of the remaining chicken will now be 15. If they are, within those 15, if they are cocks and you want to get hens, what do you do? What do you do? You sell the cocks and get your hens. Then in the second year, instead of having 1 hen, there are now 15 hens laying the eggs. Look at what happens. Each one is giving you 10 eggs. That's 450 chicken. In the second year, what do you do? Because you don't have to go to anybody to support the business. Sell the cocks, 200 of them. To do what? Pay the other thing, cocks and heal the chicken. Cocks and heal the chicken. And thank you, God, for that. Now, that is the 3rd year. You had 7,500. You dispose 2,500 cocks out of the 7,500. The balance of 5,000 chicken, you take them to the 4th year. That's the 4th year where you're going to get the bus now. So what do you do with that? You